Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So last video I did an unboxing of the Viome test. We kind of went through all the bits and pieces here, and hopefully you got your sample together and sent off to Viome, and you now have gotten your results back. So today what I'm going to talk about is actually navigating through those results. So you have the app, and the results will come back through the app. I do want to let you know that you also have access to those results through the website itself, and the report will look a little bit different. Same information, it's just laid out a little bit differently. So the results you're getting back. The first thing you're going to notice that you get back are your scores. So it's kind of like a little report card. How is your gut doing? So they rate you on 20 different metabolic pathways, and you're going to get all of these different scores back. The thing that I want you to understand is don't get overwhelmed by all of that information. You have to remember that some of this information is for practitioners, and you may not understand what those results are saying. But what they do is they give you a score based on all of the other people who have ever taken this Viome test, and it's going to rate you on that. So think of this as your baseline scores. Now, I will say that Viome does a very good job of putting a little explanation next to each score, explaining what that score represents and what it's talking about in terms of what that pathway is in your body and how it may affect you and why you've been scored a certain way. So you can just kind of read through that if you're really interested. If you're somebody, I do occasionally get some clients that are super science geeks and they want to really know the why. They do also will provide you with alternate resources that you can click into to get further information, deeper information into what those scores mean. So from those scores, you're going to look through and see where you're rated. The most important is to notice that what we really want to focus on is the not optimal section. That's everything that's in the red. And then everything else from there is either going to be average or good. And obviously when we work on the not optimal scores, the other ones will get better on their own. So just know that the main idea of this is to focus on those not optimal scores. So once you've looked through the scores, now the most important part of these results are the recommendations. When you get to those food recommendations, they are going to break them up into different categories. The types of category you're going to get is it's either a superfood, it's an avoid food, it's a minimize food, or it's an enjoy food. And we're going to talk about how to take those recommendations and put them into lists of your own that you will be able to use on a regular basis to help build your shopping list, to help plan your meals, and to set you up for success so that you're not so overwhelmed by the information in the app or in the reports that you don't use it effectively. So what we want to do is we want to first make that list of your superfoods. Now, the categories that they break this up into, they have vegetables, they have proteins and fats, they have grains and fruits, and then they do herbs, spices, and others. Those are the categories that they break up. So you can write those categories down or make that document on your computer, however you want to do it. And the first thing you're going to do is make a list of your superfoods. Now, only write down the things you're willing to eat. If it's something you've never had before, put that on there because it might be something new that you might find that's great for you. But if it's something you absolutely hate and you know you'll never eat it, don't worry about putting it on your list. So your superfood list is first. You make that superfood list. Next is your avoid list. You go in and write down all of those avoids. So these are two very important things. This is kind of two ends of the spectrum, the ones to focus on and the ones to stay away from. The third list you want to make, which might be the most challenging, is the minimize list. That usually will include more foods than the other two lists. This minimize list is very important because this is going to talk about the things that you can have a little bit of, but that you don't want to have too frequently. So important on the minimize list to go in each category, vegetables, proteins, fats, etc. Write down all of those minimizes and also write down your serving sizes of those. That is going to be very important because Viome will recommend number of servings in each of those categories that I broke down. And you're going to want to somewhat stick to those serving sizes. So that will be very important to make sure that you're getting the right number of servings based on those serving sizes. Now with the minimize, what's key is that you're only allowed to usually have 1 or 2 of those minimizes a day in each of the categories. So you want to make sure you know what those minimizes are. For example, in vegetables, if you have 10 minimizes, and you're only supposed to have 1 a day, you need to make sure that you're cycling through those minimizes. So a great way to approach that would be this week for shopping, I am going to get my superfoods. I'm going to make sure I'm avoiding my avoids. And now when I get to my minimizes, I'm going to pick 2 or 3 of those 10 minimized vegetables to focus on for that week. You buy those 2 or 3 and you circulate them through the week. Therefore, you're not eating any one of them too many times. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Now, everything that is not on your superfood list, is not on your avoid list, and is not on your minimize list is obviously going to be an enjoy food. And you know what? You don't have to write that list down. That's the beautiful thing. So you only have to make those 3 lists that I mentioned. And from there, the majority of your diet is going to be built from those superfoods, your enjoy foods, and then a little bit of those minimizes. So this is a great approach to be able to pull that information out and put it into a format that you're going to be able to utilize right away. It's going to help you to start implementing those results without getting so overwhelmed. Okay, hopefully that helps in navigating your results from your Viome test, and I will look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.